TIAA is on a mission. Why? Because 54% of Black Americans don't have enough savings to retire. So in collaboration with big-name artists like Wyclef Jean, TIAA released Paper Right, new music inspiring a new financial future. With 100% of streaming sales going to a nonprofit that teaches students how to invest. Stream Paper Right now and help close the gap.
Well, there's a party each and every year on Christmas Eve, where the fun and cocktail shrimp don't seem to end. Clark and Ralphie taking turns on the TV screen, laughing, singing, yelling with all of our friends. Well, it's Christmas, and let the parties go spread the holiday cheer. 'Cause it's Christmas. Oh, it's the best time of the year. Let's go fake reindeer with
Hey, Dylan.
Hey, Matt.
So I think you said you picked this because, hey, Warped Tour.
Yeah, so like I think to me, I got into Warped Tour in the later years. I listened to a lot of music of the early Warped Tour years, but I didn't start going to Warped Tour until I graduated high school, which was 2010. So like I loved the music of earlier Warped Tour years, but I didn't start going until the bands playing Warped Tour were a lot of the metalcore groups, a lot of the scene core groups, people in the scene.
I only ever went to one Warped Tour ever
What
in my
year?
entire life. I have no clue. No recollection. Probably 16 years ago. So doing some quick math.
So
in my head.
2007.
Probably.
Okay.
I just went because I was dating a girl who wanted to go, so we went. It
Did you like it?
was fine.
So not enough to. You're like, it's too fucking hot. I just want to
It's-
listen to these. I
well-
would much rather listen to these bands at home.
And well-
they're playing 15-minute sets.
That's kind of what it came down to. Is like there wasn't enough bands that I was excited about to begin
Yeah.
with, and then like I remember I saw Reliant K,
Nice.
but yeah, they play like a 20-minute set.
Yeah.
Like, it was like I was like at the end of the day, I was like I only really saw one band I wanted to see for the price that it would have cost to just see them play a full set. So I was like, this kind of
Yeah.
sucks.
I liked.
But I feel like I look at the lineups of past years and I'm like, that's a whole different.
Yeah,
Like, you
so-
look at like the 95, 96, 97,
Yeah.
where it's just like every single band is like iconically an
Yeah.
important band.
So I started going to Warped Tour since 2010. I went every single year after that. And again, it was less of the original like they always had a variety of artists, but it's no secret that early Warped Tour was a focus on the punk scene.
Yeah.
Or the early pop punk scene. And then it became more metalcore, second realm of pop punk, MySpace bands, like, and then MySpace died out, and then basically it became Warped Tour bands. Like
Yeah.
that was the next version of the MySpace band. Well, alongside the MySpace bands and this version of the Warped Tour,
Or the Punk Goes compilation.
was the Punk Goes compilations, and it
Which I
started
think
out
similarly to Warped Tour,
Started
started at
with
a
punk,
high
yeah.
and then just like slowly kind of lost its way.
Yep, started with decently known punk bands like in that genre. And I'll never argue what is punk, what is not punk. We are not those fucking people.
No, but yeah, it was definitely more. The way I always say it is like you look at Punk Goes Metal, the first Punk Goes Pop. Every one of those bands has a hyperlink because
Yeah.
they're of note. You
Yes.
get to like Punk Goes Pop 4. Half of those bands, no one is even bothered to build a wiki page based on them because no one knows them beyond the one song that they did for this compilation. And I believe I was hearing a story that at a certain point that like Fearless was just trolling MySpace, finding bands that had a shit ton of
Yeah.
followers and saying like, hey, can you get us a cover of a song from this decade? We can send you $200.
Well, that was the thing. I think Punk Goes Crunk was the first one that was like, we're not even going to pretend to be a punk compilation
Yeah.
of bands anymore. Like, we are just going to... Most of that album is metalcore bands. I mean, the biggest song that came out of that compilation was the Devil Wears Prada cover of Stay Fly.
Oh, I
by
don't know
Big
about that. I
Timers.
feel like also up there would have been. I remember the Set Your Goals, Put Your Hood Up, and Say Anything's Got Your Money were pretty popular off
Yeah.
of that.
Okay.
But
And
yes,
then the main also did I Want to Love You.
yeah,
So okay, but you could still see that this is not what the Punk Goes compilations originally
no,
were.
I think
This was the one that was the switch, and then Punk
Goes Punk.
God,
Yeah.
Punk Goes Pop Volume 2 came out, which doubled down on that because those bands that were a part of that compilation were huge in that scene.
Yeah.
And that's what it became, was like, we're going to stick to this Warped Tour. We'll call it Warped Core, because that's
Yeah.
basically what it was. It was a very specific blend of all of that. And even the bands that didn't sound together, that you could still wrap them up in that Warped Core brand. That's what the Punk Goes compilations became. And I'm going to be completely honest, man. Even the worst ones, I usually can find a jam or two
Yeah.
that I dig.
So I'm currently going through all the compilations on Wiki, and Punk Goes Pop 3 was the one where I didn't even bother.
I wasn't a fan of that one.
I'm like looking at the
three-
lineup, and I'm like, I
right, so hold
have
on.
never even once thought about this album's
Hold
existence.
on. Let me see if I can. So this is where we get to play like my game, because these are the compilations I'm more familiar with versus the religious punk compilations that
Yeah.
you are. So let me see. Is this the one that has Breathe Carolina's Down on it?
Yep.
And also, was this Family Force 5 does Bulletproof?
Yep.
And Issues does Hot and Cold. Or not Issues, Woe Is Me.
What was me? Hot and Cold.
Hot and
yes.
Cold. Okay. So those are the 3 songs I remember from this one. I agree with you. Was not super into this one, but I always listened to them.
Oh no! I mean, like, that was literally the album where I was already out.
Okay,
Like,
you're like, I don't care
I
what
had
this is.
started to check out around Punk Goes Crunk. I wasn't blown away by Punk Goes Pop Volume 2, and then was Punk Goes Classic Rock, and I was like, there was something on Punk Goes Classic Rock, and I can't even put my finger on it now, where I just was like, this isn't for me anymore.
So
And then I just stopped paying attention to, like, I was shocked to see how many had continued to come out after that, because
it's so funny because I can sit here and be like, okay, so let's go. Like, Punk Goes Pop 2 was awesome. I fucking loved that record. Attack Attack's cover of I Kissed a Girl and A Day to Remember's cover of Over My Head. Great covers. Punk Goes Pop Volume 3, didn't care much about, only liked the 3 songs that I already named. Punk Goes Classic Rock, dude, the I See Stars cover of Your Love is so much fun. Though it is very much just Your Love, but that's a great song.
yeah.
That album is really weird. I think there's like a Dream On cover that's super strange.
I remember what it was. I'm looking at the track list now. I
Yeah.
remember what the point was where I was like, I'm checked out. Was Never Shout Never doing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, it's so fucking bad.
And I was just like, they are not making these for me anymore.
No,
And I'm
no,
just
no.
like tapped out.
That being said, there's a great Never Shout Never record. Has a lot of banjo influence. It's got a song called Lovesick on it. That might be the name of the album. I can't remember, but I do highly recommend you specifically check that out. I will say I heard Christopher Drew sucks as a person, but I don't know much about him past what we've just talked about. Punk Goes Classic Rock was not great, but I did buy that CD. Punk Goes Pop Volume 4. You got that one
I
coming
was
up?
just looking at that
Okay,
one.
Punk Goes Pop Volume 4. Though not my favorite. The Captain Chunk cover of We Are Who We Are.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
I mean, that's
the
a great
I
song
See
to start
Stars cover of the Britney Spears song. I can't remember the name of it.
with. Till the World Ends.
Till the World Ends. Both those songs, put that shit on any playlist that I have. I love both of those songs. The rest of the album, don't care. Punk Goes Pop Volume 5, okay? has the only one on that album I like is Dance Gavin Dance's cover of What It's Like.
Okay.
Punk Goes
Wait,
90s.
that's not on here.
What It's Like? Is that volume 6 maybe?
Maybe. Let me see.
Jesus, is there more? Are they up to 7? What are they up to?
Hold on a second. What'd you say the band was?
Dance Gavin Dance?
I'm not seeing it on here.
What It's
either.
Like? What the fuck?
Like the Everlast song?
No. That's What I Like. That's What I Like, I mean. That fucking Bruno Mars song. That's what I like.
Yeah, I'm not seeing.
Hold
So
on.
here's what the track list is, according to Wikipedia, for Punk Goes Pop Volume 5 was Memphis May Fire Grenade, Upon This Dawning, Call Me Maybe.
Fuck. There's 2 Punk Goes Pop records that have apparently just blended together in my head. Because the song that I'm talking about is on Punk Goes Pop Volume 7.
Jesus Christ.
The last one of note that I checked out the whole album, Punk Goes 90s Volume 2. And the only banger on that record is the Ghost Inside cover of Southtown. And that's just because that song fucking rips.
And I was also going to say, how much of a stretch could that potentially be at that point?
Yeah, like they make it more of a hardcore song, but it's fucking phenomenal. It's such a good cover. But that song's really good. I like POD.
All right. What
But we're
bringing up-
talking about
Yeah, so
Punk Goes
that is a
Christmas.
long build up to get us to Punk Goes Christmas. Blissfully short with 12 tracks.
So, hold on.
Oh, are you going to make
Hold
us do
on.
the deluxe version so we get those extra bits?
So the problem is that the original release of Punk Goes Christmas, if I remember correctly, was like pulled off the shelves for them to put this back up as like a deluxe edition.
Yeah, so the deluxe edition, the ones that you won't hear on what I have, because I guess I was late to the party, is the Sunrise Skater Kids 12 Days of Pop Punk
It's
Christmas.
awful. So
August Burns Red's cover of Home Alone theme, which is great.
yeah,
Being as an Ocean's Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, and This Wildlife Sleigh Ride.
all right. So let me tell you, Matt Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Besides the Sunrise Skater Kids, are you familiar with the Sunrise
I
Skater
know.
Kids?
I actually really like their cover of How Far I'll Go.
Okay,
from Moana.
so
But that's like a joke band.
yeah, that's Jared Along, and basically he was the Warped Tour comedian. Like,
Yeah.
and he just made fun of all these different bands. Besides that song, the songs you just named, best songs on this album.
All right, well, here we go. So,
So I really like those jams. The Being as an Ocean one, really strange take on Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, but I like them as a band. August Burns Red
I mean,
has
that
never letting me down when it's
No,
come
that's
to
good
Christmas
stuff right
covers.
there.
And This Wildlife, while it's not my favorite version of Sleigh Ride, I really like those two guys a lot. So props to the deluxe edition. But no, you are correct. The version that we're going to talk about is the one that I bought physically on CD. And Matt, I'm going to tell you that it's not that I don't like this album. There is one single song that I listen to constantly around the holidays. And I don't think it's the song that you are going to think it is.
So there's one song I really, really like on this album.
Okay.
I'm looking at the track list. I can't sing for you any of these songs,
Okay.
but I see 3 that I vaguely feel like I enjoyed, and I'm trying to remember if I love or hate one of the covers
Okay.
in here. But we'll call out the ones that we love when we get there.
Do you like to laugh, geek out on music, and learn all about that band or artist who had that one song back in the day, but then seemed to fall off the face of the earth? If so, you need to subscribe to One Hit Thunder. Together with an array of interesting and hilarious guests, we do a weekly dive into one-hit wonders like Eiffel 65's Blue, Krayshawn's Gucci Gucci, EMF's Unbelievable, Delamitri's Roll to Me, Los Del Rio's Macarena, Musical Youth's Pass to Dutchie, and even Patrick Swayze's She's Like the Wind. So are you subscribed to One Hit Thunder or what? As Desiree would say, you gotta be. And as K7 would encourage, you gotta come, baby, come and join in on the fun of the One Hit Thunder podcast.
Come, baby, come, baby, baby, come, come. Come, baby, come, baby, baby, come.
Album kicks off. I feel like I have mostly good memories associated with Newfound Glory's Nothing for Christmas.
I don't mean to hold on.
I think it really highlights how bad his voice is when songs are acoustic.
Yeah.
Like, you can't give me a solid acoustic Newfound Glory jam where he is the one singing.
No. Yeah, no. Jordan is not the strong singer in this band.
No. And I'm wondering, do you think he was just trained poorly? Like, maybe if he had,
He's
didn't
nasally.
use his nose.
Yeah, he sings through his nose.
I'm very curious if he were to switch it up, what it would
But
sound
this
like.
chorus is a banger.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This isn't the song, but I do like this chorus. It's very Christmassy. It brings me in. I will say, before I listen to this song, I always think it's Nuttin' for Christmas. I always think that's the song I'm going to be listening to. And I'm I'm pleasantly surprised when
Yeah.
it's not that, because I don't like that song. But yeah, Newfound Glory. We know my thoughts on Newfound Glory. I really, really, really love the Newfound Glory stuff that I love.
Yeah. But the stuff that you don't love.
I don't hate it. It's
Yeah.
just I'm indifferent towards it, which is almost worse. Like I
Yeah.
almost wish I hated it.
So next up, though, we have a band that I've never really put my finger
Okay.
on if I like them or not. I have a couple of their albums. There were people who loved this band.
Dude, we are in Maryland right
Yeah.
now. Like, I will tell you, yes, there are people across the world that love this band. Maryland goes fucking hard
For All
for
Time
their
Low.
boys.
This is All Time Low with
It's
Fool's
wild.
Holiday.
Fucking fire of an opener.
It's a great opener, and then he started singing, and I was like, oh no. Maybe I don't remember. This is one of the 3 songs I said I feel like I remember feeling good vibes about. I got to hear what the chorus is on this one.
Yeah. This was after I stopped listening to All Time Low. We'll let it come up a little bit.
This is a long build to get to a chorus, though. I vaguely remember
I like
this.
it. I like this
It's a good-
song.
it's a good catchy chorus.
It's a good catchy song. A good catchy chorus. This was around the Don't Panic era of All Time Low. I will say I prefer their first 2 records. They're a lot faster, a lot.
The song that I've always liked by them is the opening track on, I think it's Put Up or Shut Up. It's like, boys raise your glasses.
Yeah,
Like that
yep.
song rules.
Yup. So like Put Up or Shut Up, So Wrong It's Right, and Nothing Personal are 3 albums that I absolutely adore. Nothing Personal being my favorite. I just bought that album at a really like dope
Good time,
in my
yeah.
life. And it reminds me of the summer of 09.
And that's the thing you have to. That's where like the age gap does factor in, because All Time Low is also coming out. I'm mid-20s. Like I'm
Yeah.
already starting to be like.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying is like I had friends that were the same way. That
Yeah.
were like, this isn't hard enough for me. This isn't man music.
This was I remember my friend's band doing a lot of touring. They were playing Warped Tour and Bamboozle and stuff like that. And I definitely remember them being really into All Time Low.
Yeah.
And they had a good relationship
I had
with
a
All
lot
Time
of
Low.
friends. I know I had a lot of friends not into it, but I also had a lot of friends that were super into them.
I
And
wish I could find this. Their merch guy Dave
yeah,
styled his hair exactly like Alex.
that's fucking funny.
And they used to make fun of him all the time
Yeah.
that he was trying to look like Alex. And it was at Bamboozle. They bumped into Alex backstage and said, "Hey, would you go up to the merch table and accuse our merch guy of stealing your style?" And he's like, "Absolutely." And like,
so
and he
fucking
lit it
funny.
like it was so. I wish we had filmed it because like Dave was there like selling some shirts with his band, and all of a sudden Alice goes, "Hey motherfucker, I hear you've been trying to steal my look," and he's like, "I'm sorry." Like he like immediately like panicked.
I think what I do like about All Time Low, and I could be totally off base, they might suck. They seem like really dope dudes to hang out with.
They seem pretty down to earth, honestly.
I will say that after that 2009 album, I'll listen to them periodically. Like
Yeah.
I'll just be like, "Oh, new All Time Low album came out. Like, let me hear what this sounds like." And I'll listen to it. And I'm like, "It's not for me," but I get it.
They had all the potential to be one of the biggest. Like they could have
Yeah.
been like a Blink 182 level band.
Yeah,
and it just never happened.
I almost
for them.
feel like because they're huge. I mean, they're still big.
but they're
definitely have cooled off
huge
a
if
little
you're
bit
in the
in
specific
that
genre.
scene.
Yeah,
There was a moment where they were big outside of that genre, but they never took that next level.
Well,
and
they're-
I almost feel like
they just had their biggest single ever recently.
yeah,
with that song "Monsters."
with Black Bear.
yeah.
I almost feel like they switched up their sound too soon, if that makes sense. Around Dirty Work, they stopped. It's still guitar heavy, but it's a lot poppier than it is punk, which I
Yeah.
would never consider them punk, but I don't know. It's definitely, there's definitely a stylistic change that to me felt too soon. I needed one more. I feel like they needed one more solid rock record.
Before they shifted.
Yeah, before they shifted. Yeah, I mean, I like All Time Low. I like the songs that I like by them, which is the exact opposite of this next
Dude,
band.
I have. So here's where we're about to hit two bands back to back that were so after I had stepped out that I just disliked them by the sheer fact of how many people told me that if I truly liked pop punk, that I should be listening to them. And that
We'll
is
talk
we're,
about the next one
we're
in a
starting
second.
off with Real Friends. I Had a Heart.
I had so many friends into Real Friends,
Yeah,
and I never understood it.
never did it
Because
for me.
my response was always, this is like my mom saying, "We've got the Wonder Years at home."
Yeah,
Like, and I would say even the Wonder Years are kind of after the era of pop punk that we
I
love.
was really late to, because I was definitely like tapped out on like I just don't have the bandwidth and mind space to take on more new pop punk right now.
Yeah.
Like I was super late to the Wonder Years and the Story So Far, who ended up being bands that I'm like, oh, these guys are great.
Yeah.
But at that point I was just like, I can't like I'm still trying to keep up with the bands from the 90s that never stopped putting out records, and now you're throwing all these other
Exactly.
bands at me that are like putting out a record every 6 months. It feels like it just was like there was too much.
So my thing was always with both of these bands, and I'll just pick with Real Friends, is that it just was the Wonder Years redone.
Yeah.
Like this guy sounds almost identical to Soupy, like almost identical to his voice.
Yeah.
It's very similar, and I never thought they had the writing skills that the Wonder Years had.
No. not
At all. Their songs aren't as catchy. The music itself isn't as fun. There's just, to me, it just felt like such a rip off the Wonder Years. Apparently,
Without any of the charm.
Yeah, exactly. Without any of the stuff that I liked. Apparently, they're back. The Real Friends are back with a new lead singer. Props to them. They've got a spot in the scene. It's not my thing. Which leads us to the next band.
Man Overboard, first cover on the album, which is weird for a compilation known for cover songs. Father Christmas.
When I was young, I believed in Santa
I could never get into the dude's voice in Man Overboard.
No. And I also like Man Overboard was the big defend pop punk
Yeah.
band, and
I think that's also why I really dislike them.
I was like, why do we have to defend this?
Yeah,
like nobody is coming out to say that it's bad.
Yeah.
Like this is like being like, we'll never conform, but there's 500 of us. Like I never understood it, but damn, did they sell a lot of t-shirts with that
They
defend the pop
sold-
punk stuff. Never really got into Man Overboard. It was kind of like you said with your bandwidth thing. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't have it in me. I don't like these guys enough to listen to the 3 albums they had out at the time. I'm like, I just can't. I just don't. I don't want to. Again, sure they're great guys. They might not be. A lot of people in that pop punk scene from
turned out not great.
2012 are not great people. They might be. They might not be. I don't know. I'm not well versed. But I'm not listening to it, man.
All right. Well,
And I don't even really like that song that much.
see, I was gonna say I Father Christmas is fine.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about a song I fucking love.
Yeah.
Not sure how I'm trying to remember how I felt about this particular cover. Probably not super fond of it.
Yeah.
But I do love the song This Christmas. So let's see how the Somerset does it.
Hang all the mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know you better.
Don't love the voice, but the beat's not terrible.
It's not bad.
I think doing it, this is going to sound way more gatekeepy than I want it to. There was this point where, like, I think the point where people got the most frustrated with stuff being described as punk music was definitely this era.
Yeah. And this was.
Because, like, this is a pop song.
The problem is
This
it was
is a
never,
really good pop song.
It was never the bands
Yeah.
doing it. It was never the Somerset never claimed to be punk.
No.
They never claimed to be pop punk. They're a pop / sometimes pop rock band. They always have been. Like, I guess some of their earlier stuff could be considered it, maybe. But the problem was that they were being grouped together with. These guys toured Warped Tour multiple times.
Yeah.
They were grouped together with the Punkos thing. So the problem is that like the fans of that world just like would just ravage each other.
Yeah.
When it's all like, dude, it's just music, man. Like if you don't like it, you don't have to listen to it. There's 1,000 other bands in this same exact scene. I never got super into Somerset because unfortunately I was part of that where I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't listen to this. I don't listen to that pop radio crap. Thankfully, that lasted for maybe half a year because I dig it. I like the candy pop sound. I
Yeah.
always have.
I like the
Dude,
candy
5
pop
Seconds
sound.
of Summer. I like some of those jams.
I've never really listened to them, so I can't say one way or the other.
I always they're a very similar band to the Somerset, so I always kind of relate the two. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, his voice is auto-tuned to all hell,
Yep.
which I would never, like, I don't care. I love auto-tuned music, but it's
I like
just,
it when it's used
It's just
correctly.
over,
Yeah.
it's just, he sounds like a robot. So I'm wondering if there were, like, some mixing levels we could do
Yeah,
to fix it.
play
but-
around, fix that a bit.
Yeah.
All right, so Crown the Empire is definitely a name I've heard, but I don't remember this song at all. There Will Be No Christmas.
Sometimes I wish we'd never spoken.
I
So-
kind of hate this.
Yeah, Crown the Empire was one of those metalcore bands that got really big in the scene. I would hate to say this, but because of what they looked like they're really good looking dudes.
Yeah.
And I always felt like I never wanted to listen to Crown the Empire. Like, it felt like there was never any substance there. It was more aesthetics than anything else.
That happens.
Because their aesthetic to me was early Panic at the Disco, but we're metalcore.
That was a picture I
instead.
saw when I looked.
Yeah. So I never really got super into them. I don't like this song.
It's not a good song.
It's not a good song, and it doesn't make me want to, like, I'm not feeling Christmassy.
No.
After that.
Now,
jam.
I do feel like I remember feeling pretty Christmassy thanks to Yellow Card covering Radiohead. Man, no band would be more excited to be mistaken for Radiohead than Coldplay, but Coldplay's Christmas Lights.
Yeah. I fucking hate Radiohead.
I mean, this is cool, but it's not hooking me yet.
Christmas night, another fight.
Okay, so it's more of this. I was thinking this was going to build to like a big crescendo before the vocals, but I was wrong. I barely know the Coldplay song, to be honest.
Yeah, I barely know the Coldplay song, and by barely, I mean I didn't know this was a cover until you just pointed it out. I'll also say that my knowledge of Yellow Card begins and ends at Ocean Avenue.
Yeah. The album,
Which is a fucking killer song.
it's a good album. The EP right before that had a song called Avondale that I always really liked. But yeah. I've never been a huge Yellow Card guy. This is just fine. I almost want to skip ahead to a song that I have a lot of emotions about. So when I bought this, I have a feeling you're going to tell me this is your favorite song on this. When I bought this album, and I might be mistaking this for another song, so I'm going to reserve my comment until I hit play. But I remember being like, ooh, a band covers NSYNC's Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yeah.
This is going to fucking rip. Now, I have 2 different Christmas albums where someone covers it. I might be thinking of the wrong one. One of them is just an acoustic cover of it, and I was like super let down.
This is not an acoustic cover.
Okay, let me see how I remember this. Issues covering Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Oh yeah, we've been waiting all year for this night.
All right, so for the audience not able to see any video, Dylan is clearly knows this song by heart, this version, and is doing all the lip sync and everything. So I'm assuming this is the one you fucking love on this one.
Another life will show. It's Christmas time. I feel really bad because it came out that Tyler Carter is actually not that great of a person.
I mean, this is fine.
I fucking love this version of the song. Have you heard this before?
I own this album.
Okay,
And
so
I
are you
listened-
aware what happens at the end of this song?
Yeah, it gets weird.
That we get a Too Close cover?
Yeah.
That when it switches over to step back, you dance a little close. But it's like the fucking, it's so good. I love this song. I love this cover. I love Issues.
This is the only song I've ever heard by Issues.
Okay. So if you heard the rest of Issues catalog, you would say, yep, out of all those bands, it makes sense that they're the ones covering NSYNC. Tyler Carter, who's the clean vocalist, was very involved in the pop world. Very much takes inspiration from that. Has multiple R&B records out. And that's what I love about this band is that blend. Oh, here it goes.
Yep.
So, early Issues formed from a band called Woe Is Me.
Yep.
And I loved their first EP, Black Diamonds. I listened to fucking constantly on repeat. Like, it would end and I would just start it over. It would end, I would just start it over. And then their self-titled record came out. It was more of the same. Then their the next album came out. I can't remember the name of it, but they started to soften up a little bit. And then their screamer Michael started singing, and then Michael left the band. There was like a big rip, and then right before the pandemic, they dropped Beautiful Oblivion, which was their first record without their screamer, and they had the guitarist scream. Fucking phenomenal album. I want you to listen to it just to hear just to see if you like it or not. And then some stuff came out about Tyler Carter, some underage stuff. I don't know here or there. Fuck him as a person. The band stands by that as well. But I do like these songs.
All right.
So, but yes, that is the song. That is the only song off of this playlist that is on my annual Christmas playlist.
All right. So the next one is from Jason Lancaster, which I see is one of the dudes from Mayday Parade. I feel like I remember really liking this song.
Okay.
All I Can Give You. Pretty little piano.
Boxes and bows full of ribbons and
Yeah, I remember really liking this song, actually. Like, it's not one that I like think about a lot, but I do think it's a really pretty song on this album. And I think unlike when we did Taste the Chaos, where so many of the songs sounded like this that it was infuriating, this is like a beautiful breath of fresh air in the album.
So Jason Lancaster, now that I looked into it, was part of early Mayday Parade.
Gotcha.
And then he
Go
created
Radio.
the band Go Radio. Yeah. And then I think he does more solo stuff. I never got into any. I've seen Mayday Parade 3 times, but I never got into them.
Yeah.
They've just always been playing with other bands that I want to see.
I couldn't name you a Mayday Parade song.
Yeah,
I just
me-
know the name
yeah,
for sure.
Me neither. But I never got into Go Radio. Never got into Jason Lancaster. This is a nice calming moment, but like,
Yeah.
if I was listening to this album, I would appreciate that song. I'm never going to listen to this album.
No.
Past this.
No, it's fine. The Ready Set. I don't know too much about the Ready Set, and I don't remember how I'm going to feel
Gotta
about
love
this.
like whoa, whoa, whoa.
But this
Girls
is-
gotta love like whoa.
I don't want to spend another Christmas without you.
It's the night before Christmas and I have you on my mind. And I wish you could be here tonight, so I could kiss you, so I could hold you one more time. All the signs seem to point in your direction.
This is like right in the same vein as what I was saying with the Summer Set, where it's like this is fine, but this was definitely of that time period where I'm like, why are these bands being called punk? I don't understand it. This is pop music.
The Summer Set and the Ready Set toured together multiple times. But
of course they did.
I fucking love the Ready Set. I adore the Ready Set. I'm gonna send you a couple albums recommendations from him to listen to. I got to see him in Wilmington, Delaware. He played
Okay.
like a flower festival, and he played it acoustically, and it was fucking awesome to see.
He can sing. He's got it. He reminds me a little bit of like Rocket Summer.
Yeah,
singing-wise.
and that's the thing is like
He
lot
seemed
of
less auto-tuned
yes.
as well.
Well, that's the thing is a lot of people see that he makes more pop music and goes like, "Oh, he's all auto-tuned." He's like, he's not. Like,
No.
there is some there, but I would say that it just shows again that I love that candy pop
Yeah.
nonsense.
No.
I got so into alternative pop.
Yeah,
when
I
was
didn't
a
hate
kid.
that. I didn't hate that song at all. I want to talk about the song that I fucking love on this album.
Okay.
Set It Off. This Christmas, I'll burn it to the ground. I remember when I bought this CD, I was pretty let down as I was going track by track. And I don't even know if this song is necessarily good, but it's so uniquely different than everything else.
I
on
would
it.
say it's that.
Yeah,
it's
but
the second one.
Here we go. Huh, just a nice, good. What's happening?
Oh my God, it's here.
They were really into Nightmare Before Christmas.
But this also has like a little bit of Say Anything in the vocals.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Yeah, I don't hate this at all.
Hold on, I'm looking something up.
Because the chorus when this kicks in is great. I'm kicking it back out for the chorus.
This Christmas, I'll burn it to the ground. This Christmas, Santa's going down. This Christmas, everything will change.
So this album came out in 2013, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to put this out there that Ice Nine Kills 100% ripped off Set It Off.
Yeah.
Because they didn't start making music like this until 2015.
There you
like
go.
this this sounds just like an Ice Nine Kills song. That's Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah, I know Ice Nine Kills.
Right? I just want to say that band has been accused of ripping off many things, clothing companies and music, and I'm just not a fan of theirs. But
Look.
that's what this sounds like to me.
Know what this sounds like? Honestly, and that part that we just talked over top of it, but where it does like the up on the rooftop part, this is just like a punkier, mindless self-indulgence.
Oh yeah.
Which we've gone on record of saying like, hey, fuck Jimmy Urine, but those first couple of mindless self-indulgence albums are great.
This would be right at home on a Hot Topic Christmas playlist.
100. Honestly, that probably should have been on the Taste of Christmas
Yeah.
album more than half the songs that made it on there.
It's true. So between this album and the Taste of Chaos, if you put them together, you have a pretty solid E EP.
Yeah. So here we
You
end.
still don't have a really good album, but
Yeah.
you've got a pretty solid E EP.
We end with the lead singer of Academy is William Beckett performing everybody's favorite Christmas song. Do you hear what I hear?
God. Me too, Bear.
Said the night went to the little lamb. Do you see what I see?
I think this cover makes me like the Academy is less. like this is bad.
That's just the song.
No, like even this version feels like overly pretentious.
Yeah. Like you want to look at him and be like, dude, you're covering Do You See What I or Do You Hear What I Hear? Like, chill out.
It literally feels like a dude trying to shake off pop punk.
Yeah.
He's like, no, my solo stuff's very different.
Yeah.
It's very experimental. It's weird. We got violins.
Yeah.
I sing like a proper English actor.
Do you see what I see?
Like, what the fuck was that? All right.
Dude. So
what a fucking wet fart. That should have ended on this Christmas. I'll burn it to the ground
yeah,
more
I'll
than
take
that.
So, well, if you listen to the deluxe
Oh yeah,
album,
we get
it
the
doesn't
sleigh.
fucking-
Yeah, we get Sleigh Ride by the Wilds.
which
Life.
still isn't that good of a song to end on. Do you have the deluxe edition pulled up?
No, I just had the CD that I owned. I can here. Let me,
Okay.
let me do-
Yeah. Did I bring it up on Apple Music?
I'm connected to your internet. Let me
yeah.
see.
There you go.
The Wildlife Sleigh Ride.
Guys, hold on. No. Just we've got 4 more tracks, dude. Isn't it only 4?
Hold on a second.
We can do the 4.
Well, I want to hear what should have been the outro first. We'll start there.
Well,
After this Adobe Express commercial.
Okay.
All right, here we go. What's that say? So this is what the Wildlife song.
I would still take this over the other one.
I would take this over Do You Hear What I Hear, but I
Yeah.
still think it's kind of a lame duck ending to the album. Oh, I like this.
Yeah, you do. I love this Wildlife.
Well, this is sweet. What was who did the Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas?
Oh fuck, I don't remember. Who was it? Hold on. It was
I exited out of the wiki page.
God damn it.
I was like, I'll pull it back up. Guys, this is our worst episode. I'm sorry. We're just clicking around, like doing. being as an ocean, I would have never gotten there.
No, me neither. Yeah, pull that shit up.
All right, let's see. What does this sound like?
This is exclusive Patreon content.
Yeah, this is top notch. Hey, man, it's free. They can deal with it.
Hell yeah.
I love the jingle bells on these deluxe tracks.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think all 4 of these deluxe tracks are better than most of the album.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to find a version of the song that I don't fucking love.
like,
Yeah. All right, we'll do 12 Days of Pop Punk Christmas.
I lied. The 3 songs, not this one that you're about to play, are better than the rest of the album.
Let's see. Who knows?
I don't like his brand of humor, man. I don't.
All right, so far, not bad.
Well, you gotta listen to the lyrics.
Well, luckily, I've got the lyric video
Oh,
pulled up.
great.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a pair of skinny khakis.
Ah!
Do you... Hold on. I don't think you're getting the joke.
Oh, man, is he talking about pop punk stuff?
Yeah, dude. It's 12 days of pop punk stuff.
All right, I'm going to jump all the way to 12.
Yeah, go to 12.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 broken hearts, 11 anchor tags, 10 pics of Patty, 9 cardboard signs, 8 Tumblr notes, 7 vinyl records, 6 flannel shirts.
No, this is unacceptable. Who forgets pepperoni? Pepperoni's like the default topping.
Because
Like,
pop
even
punk
if
kids
you
are really
love
into
cheese,
pizza.
forget
I don't
the
know if you
pepperoni
understand
on
that.
it accidentally.
Everyone loves pizza. You're not unique.
All right, so Dylan, I know normally we end every episode with us saying something that ties to the album, but I kind of just want to let August Burns Red's Home Alone theme ride it out.
Yeah, so hold on. As you're playing that, and as we're wrapping up, just know that this is an era of music that I do hold near and dear to my heart. And I look back at those moments with fond memories, and I just want to say that as musical artists, I hope those of you listening out there do better, because most of these people turned out to be awful, awful human beings.
Yeah, not great.
Oh, whoa, oh, now we won't stop till the big ball drops on New Year's. Have a happy holly, have a great, great, great holly, have a merry, 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 happy holiday.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.